University Board of Trustees ready to welcome their new president. Just a few more hurdles to clear in the approval process. And TPD playing defense this morning and the now closed Jameis Winston sexual assault case. The department responding to the accuser's attorney now wanting to file a civil suit against the star player, the university, and the police department. And New Jersey Governor Chris Christie doing damage control to avoid sinking his presidential chances, apologizing for Bridgegate, and fires top members of his staff.
Live from the WTXL studios, this is ABC 27 Sunrise.
Friday doesn't sound any better than that. Good morning to you, January 10th, 2014. I'm Greg Angel, 5 a.m., ready to get this day started and get to the weekend. But before we get to it, check out these photos. Really cool pictures. It's not a lighting trick. It's not a genetic mutation engineering or anything like that. Researchers with the American Museum of Natural History releasing these photos of naturally glowing fish species. Now, biologists say they've identified about 180 varieties of fish that can create their own light shows. It's called biofluorescence, and it happens when an organisms absorb blue light and then can transform it and emit it as another color. Now, scientists say animals like corals, jellyfish, even butterflies, even parrots have been known to glow in the dark. Pretty cool pictures. Well, as we get the morning started, Lauren's in for Michelle this morning, and your radar kind of colorful like that. A little bit of rain to talk about this morning as we get ready.
Exactly right, Greg. Just a couple of spots, and most of the showers are light, but there's a lot of mist out there, a lot of fog, and it could make for a little bit of a troublesome commute as you're heading out your door this morning. Your radar currently, again, we do have some showers moving through Leon County right now, mostly moved out of Wakulla as of right now, just mainly the central parts of our forecast area, Dothan, Alabama, and then parts south of that in southern Alabama also getting in on a little bit of rain. Again, these showers are moving up towards the north off of the coast, and so we're going to see these continue throughout most of the morning hours. The good news is by noon they should taper off. Temperatures outside right now 58 currently in Tallahassee, and 50s and 60s for the rest of the area. We're feeling very mild and very muggy this morning. A couple weather headlights for your upcoming weekend. A few showers this morning, tapering off by noon, clearing for the afternoon. Showers tonight and Saturday though, and on Saturday we could see a couple of thunderstorms develop. Some of those could have gusty winds. Again, I'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes. We'll take a look though at traffic with 103.1 The Wolf's Big Moose. Good morning, Big Moose.
Good morning, Lauren, and good morning, everyone. Roadways wet, slick, just unpleasant this morning, so definitely use caution. TPD working a crash at East Magnolia Drive and South Monroe Street. Officials will need to turn off power while they are cleaning up this crash, so expect to see a couple of non-working traffic lights in that area. Remember to treat all those as a four-way stop. Also, Florida Highway Patrol working a crash. I-10 eastbound, mile marker 213 right now. That is a crash with injuries. Also may cause some slowdowns. Construction zones continue in Gadsden County. Highway 90 reduced down to a single lane each direction. That continues at the Little River and Hurricane Creek bridges between Quincy and Midway. Within Tallahassee, road closures on Lafayette Street between Goodbody and East Seminole Drive. Also Bradford Road between Monroe and MLK. And construction continues on Callaway between Alabama and Indiana Street. You'll see closures there between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. We'll keep watching the roadways and get you your next update in about 15 minutes.
All right, Moose, thank you very much. 5:03 now on this Friday morning. Florida A&M University's Board of Trustees have elected a new president. Now the selection of Dr. Elmira Mangum has to be approved by the State Board of Governors. Right now, Mangum is Vice President of Budget and Planning at Cornell University in New York. She's already vowed to take a zero-tolerance policy on hazing, which has been plaguing the university publicly, at least since the November 2011 hazing death of Marching 100 drum major Robert Champion. Well, Mangum telling us a short time after being selected by the board that she's excited for what's to come.
Interested in the students, the pursuit of knowledge, and the transfer of that knowledge to society to build a better society. That's how I live it, and that's what I think about most of the time.
Now, there's no word yet on the timeline of when the State Board of Governors could approve Mangum as FAMU's president. FAMU Board of Trustees also needing to hammer out a deal with her as well regarding salary and benefits. While no salary set, a university spokeswoman tells us interim President Larry Robinson's salary has been around $300,000. Jameis Winston has a new hurdle to clear this morning, and it's off the football field. His accuser's attorney, Patricia Carroll, says she's planning on filing a civil lawsuit against FSU star quarterback, the university, and Tallahassee Police Department. Carroll says TPD mishandled the case and discouraged her client from pursuing an investigation. Well, TPD's now released a statement defending its actions during the investigation. The statement you see here coming up on screen says in part that they've conducted an internal review of the case and determined the criminal investigation and evidence processing was conducted based on information available at the time. It goes on to say the state attorney's office conducted its own investigation and concluded charges would not be filed in the case. Now, TPD also says no formal internal affairs investigation is going to be conducted. You can read their full statement and find the complete story online at WTXL.TV. A local church hosting a forum this weekend to bring those who still have questions about the Affordable Care Act some answers.
I don't know if I'm supposed to register. I don't know if what impacts will this have upon my family and my grandparents and persons who I may be providing care and assistance for. And so all I know is that I don't know. And so I figured this is going to be a fantastic opportunity for all of my questions to be answered.
Few hundred people expected out Saturday for the forum being hosted by Bethel AME Church. Volunteers, medical providers also going to be on hand to answer questions. The forum coming up Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Bethel AME Church in Tallahassee. After the forum, there's also going to be an informal session for young adults interested in a career in medicine. President Obama announcing a new project that he hopes will tackle poverty in the United States. Plus, we've got the latest on New Jersey Governor's Bridgegate. Chris Christie backstroking and apologizing on behalf of his staff. Plus, everybody's a winner at Tallahassee's annual food truck fair. But this year, Florida Lottery adding free scratch-offs to the fun.
It's time to get down, T-Town. Paint your bad self purple for a purpose. It's time for Purple Craze 2014, January 31st at the Tallahassee Automobile Museum. Come support the work of the Alzheimer's Project by strutting down the purple runway, learning the Purple Craze Shuffle with the photo fun booth, games, live and silent auctions. Tickets start at $35. Log on to alzheimersproject.org to learn how to get your purple on. Purple Craze 2014, Friday, January 31st at the Tallahassee Automobile Museum.
Hi, this is Jimbo Fisher from Naples Infiniti of Tallahassee. I just want to tell you, I absolutely love my new Infiniti. You should stop by today and take a test drive.
During our winter sign and drive event, drive the all-new Infiniti Q50 sedan for only $349 a month. We have a huge selection, and during our sign and drive event, you can drive luxury for less out of your pocket at Napleton Infiniti. Plus, when you purchase any pre-owned vehicle, you'll receive a lifetime warranty.
I wish I had a lifetime warranty on all my players. Head to Naples Infiniti today and get your lifetime warranty. This is Jimbo Fisher, head coach of Florida State Seminoles. When it comes to football, well, I know football. But when it comes to buying jewelry for candy, I just might get benched. That's when I turn to my team of experts at the Gem Collection. Whether it's a watch for me or jewelry for candy, Team Gem Collection has the knowledge, experience, and most of all, beautiful jewelry. Gem Collection makes everyone a winner. The Gem Collection, Master Jewelers, serving Tallahassee and Florida State since 1978.
It's 5:09. President Obama unveiling a new anti-poverty program called the Promise Zone Initiative. Poor areas hit hard by the recession are the target of the program. President's vowing to make 2014 the year of action, focusing on these areas by increasing workforce training programs, education, and community revitalization projects.
Now, it's one thing to say we should help more Americans get ahead, but talk is cheap. We've got to actually make sure that we do it. And I will work with anybody who's willing to lay out some concrete ideas to create jobs, help more middle-class families find security in today's economy, and offer new ladders of opportunity for folks to climb into the middle class.
Some of those cities being focused on include San Antonio, Philadelphia, and Los Angeles. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie taking all the political steps to put the bridge scandal behind him. His chances as a 2016 presidential candidate on the line, so he's apologizing and cutting loose friends and allies who are proving to be liabilities. With at least one state investigation underway in New Jersey, ABC's Mary Bruce has the latest on the firestorm rocking Christie's administration.
He's the tough-talking, no-nonsense star of the Republican Party. So popular, he's considered the front-runner to be his party's presidential nominee in 2016. But today, he's in damage control, trying to drive his future out of a political jam over a traffic scandal.
I come out here today to apologize to the people of New Jersey.
Christie offered an epic mea culpa. For nearly 2 hours, he apologized and cast himself as a take-charge governor.
Ultimately, I am responsible for what happens under my watch.
The famously brash politician, somber and remorseful.
I am embarrassed and humiliated by the conduct of some of the people on my team.
He was swift to announce he is parting ways with his former campaign manager and has fired the senior aide who sealed her fate with this email. Time for some traffic problems in Fort Lee. The message allegedly came after the Democratic mayor of Fort Lee failed to endorse Christie's re-election bid. What came next was a massive 4-day traffic jam. Christie is famous for his take-no-prisoners politics, but he said his gruff style does not reflect his management.
I am who I am, but I am not a bully.
Continuing the apology tour, Christie later visited Fort Lee to ask the mayor for forgiveness. With calls for a federal investigation and his political aspirations on the line, can Christie survive this?
What matters in the end is whether he's telling the truth.
Christie says he knew nothing about his staff's inappropriate behavior. The question now is whether investigators will find any evidence to the contrary. Mary Bruce, ABC News, Washington.
Well, there's a food-filled family fun tonight. We've got all the details ahead for Tallahassee's annual food truck fair. Speaking of food, hot on the web this morning, a very smart beagle going to very great lengths for some chicken nuggets. I'm telling you, you are going to want to see this incredible video coming up. Plus, grab the umbrella before you head out the door this morning.
Exactly right, Greg. We do have some showers making their way northward off the Gulf of Mexico right now. They're light across most of the area, but you do want to leave a little bit of extra time for your morning commute. There's a look at your school daycast. At drop-off time will be in the mid-50s with some showers by lunchtime. Those showers taper off and will warm to the high 60s and near 70 degrees by the time you're going home, and warmer conditions. Now, there are some showers and thunderstorms on the way for Saturday. I'll let you know more about those in just a little bit.
Social Security is sometimes the only thing that stands between having a roof over your head, food on the table, and being homeless. At Morgan & Morgan, we have a Social Security section devoted to helping you. Whether you're applying for benefits or been denied, I invite you to visit forthepeople.com and learn more. When you visit, you can learn what benefits you're entitled to and what injuries and mental illnesses qualify for both Social Security and VA benefits. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Our community is amazing, but we can always make it better. Did you know that 1 out of 10 people will have a seizure in their lifetime, and that 1 in 26 Americans will develop epilepsy in their lifetime, and that epilepsy affects more people than MS, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, and Parkinson's combined? Yet epilepsy receives fewer dollars than each of these. So please give to the Epilepsy Association of the Big Bend. I'm Chris Kraft, and I care about our community, and that's why Kraft Nissan is a dedicated company.
Hopefully your home is sitting on solid ground, literally, because if it's not, doors begin to stick, walls crack, chimneys pull away from the house, and the value plummets. Stop your home from settling right now with Ramjack.
Ramjack offers a free site evaluation and lifetime transferable warranty.
Ramjack has restored more than 50,000 homes and businesses back to solid level ground
and guarantees to do the same for your home or business.
Ramjack, experienced, reputable, guaranteed.
Get ready for the Broadway smash that's got everyone cheering.
Give me a B! Give me an R! Give me an I! Give me an N! How about a G? I before T! Give me an O! Give me an N! What do you got? Bring it on! The musical!
Coming to the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center on January 27th. Tickets on sale now.
Titan Doppler Radar is sponsored by Kraft Nissan.
Florida State Seminoles could be in a good position to make another run at a national title next season. The Noles were a very young team this year, and a lot of players have already announced that they're going to be coming back for another season in the Garnet and Gold. Florida State stars Cameron Irving, Rashad Green, and Trey Jackson announcing they'll return to FSU for one more year. Nick O'Leary, Joshua Matias, and Carlos Williams also sticking around for another season. Now, these were all key players and leaders on a Seminole team that finished undefeated, capturing the BCS National Championship. They also helped to lead the FSU offense to record-breaking numbers for yards and points per game this past season. Some other Noles, they're going to be taking their talents to the NFL. Junior defensive tackle Timmy Jernigan announcing he will forego his senior year and enter the draft. In Jernigan's 3 seasons with the Seminoles, he accumulated 138 tackles, 25 of those for a loss, and 8.5 sacks. He's the second junior to officially declare for the draft, joining running back James Wilder Jr. Other underclassmen have until January 15th to make their decision. After dropping the ACC opener at home last weekend, the Florida State men's basketball team looking to steal a win on the road last night. Easier said than done, though, when heading into Clemson's Little John Coliseum. FSU and Clemson, 2 of the top defenses in the ACC, so points were at a premium. 5 minutes into the game, Noles still haven't scored yet, but Ian Miller and Jarquez Smith fixed that one with the alley-oop dunk. Turning defense into offense, Aaron Thomas gets the steal. He takes it himself, finishes with a two-handed dunk, 9-2 Noles at this point. Thomas again showing some quick hands. He deflects the pass, comes away with the steal. He'll throw it down. 2 more points for Thomas. And then off of another Clemson turnover, the Noles out and running. Devin Bookert lays it in. Bookert actually scored the first 8 points of the second half for FSU as the Noles pick up a needed road win, topping Clemson 56-41. And that's going to do it for your Sunrise Sports this morning. Let's head back over to the news desk.
All right, 5:17. It is a Tallahassee tradition that's sure to fill you up. Happening today at Northwood Center, the 6th annual Food Truck Fair. 7 of the Big Bend's best mobile food vendors going to be serving up their signature dishes. Florida Lottery also going to be out there handing out free scratch-off tickets. Secretary of Business and Professional Regulation Ken Lawson says the event is great, not just for food lovers, but for entrepreneurs as well.
And this time, we're going to have our people out here in the parking lot with a table to talk to those future business owners. Let them know what the rules are to establish their own food truck and create their own new business.
The event is tonight from 4:30 until 7 o'clock inside the parking lot at Northwood Center. That's on North Monroe Street. Entry is free to the public. Food prices vary as well. And hopefully, won't need the umbrella like you are as you head out the door this morning, head off to work, head off to school.
Yep, a little bit of rain on the radar this morning. By the time we head into the evening hours, though, it does look like it's going to clear out nicely. Right now, though, again, we are dealing with some showers and actually a little bit of fog and some mist out there for your morning commute. Roadways could be tricky this morning, so leave a little bit of extra time. Make sure you give a check of the radar before you go out. We can see right now there's some showers coming up off the Gulf of Mexico, most of them in the middle of the forecast area right now, entering into Leon County and then moving towards the Georgia-Florida border. We're going to see these continue until right around noontime, and then they're actually going to taper off. We can see this system is actually moving out of the area, but behind me you can see the beginnings of our next system. It's going to be coming in this coming weekend, and tomorrow is when we're really going to see that system develop and bring us some showers, and even some thunderstorms are possible during especially the afternoon hours tomorrow. Right now, though, temperatures still sitting mild. We're muggy as well, so it's feeling like about 60 degrees outside. 58 currently in Tallahassee, 62 in Valdosta, 60 in Live Oak, and 61 currently especially in Perry. Now here's a breakdown of what's going on right now. Again, we have our current system still over us. It's actually centered just off the coast of the Carolinas, and it's bringing some showers for this morning along with some southerly flow that's making it feel very muggy and sticky outside. This afternoon, though, we are going to see some clearing before the front moves closer to our area, and then tomorrow, that's when we'll start to feature some thunderstorms and some rain, especially totals could approach 1 to 2 inches by the time all is said and done Saturday morning. The key with tomorrow, though, southerly flow means it's still going to stay warm and muggy. Now here's a look at your forecast in focus. This is when and where we expect the showers to pop up today. And you can see they mainly taper off by right around our noon hour. This evening should be mainly clear of showers, but we're going to keep the cloud cover in the picture for the entire area. And then as we head into the early morning hours on Saturday, that's when we're really going to see the rain ramp up. The showers will become more numerous late overnight tonight, though. And then as we head into the day tomorrow afternoon is when we expect some of those heaviest thunderstorms to enter into the area. Here's a look at your forecast for today, though. Again, some morning showers, about a 30% shot at seeing some showers up until about 9 a.m. and then we continue to taper those chances down. Warm and muggy conditions, though, high of 73 degrees, a far cry from the 30s and even the teens and the 20s that we were seeing earlier this week. Winds again will be out of the east-southeast at just 5 miles per hour. Now by tonight, we're going to build some clouds later in the evening and showers again after midnight. 62 degrees for your low as opposed to our average of 39 degrees. It's going to be very warm, very muggy overnight as well. Again, we have about a 30% of showers, but that's just after midnight. Now for tomorrow, some occasional sunshine during the day, 72 degrees for your high. And then as we head into the afternoon hours, that's when we're really going to start to see more of those thunderstorms. There's a look at your 7-day forecast. Again, the best chance at storms is going to be tomorrow during the day. We're going to keep it warm until our next cold front passes there on Monday.
And liking that. So again, a little bit of rain here today, but nothing really to spoil any of the plans. And the weekend, not a total spoiler.
Not a total washout.
Everyone's been waiting for the warmer weather and the sunshine. Liking that.
Finally here.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. Rain maybe causing a little bit of an issue on the roadways. 103.1 The Wolf's Big Moose live for us now by Skype with a check of your morning commute. Good morning, Moose.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Couple of problem spots to look out for. First one, TPD working a crash with road blockage at East Magnolia and South Monroe Street. Officials have turned off the power in that area, so you're going to encounter a couple traffic lights that are not working this morning. Remember to treat all those as a four-way stop. Also, I-10 eastbound Florida Highway Patrol working a crash at mile marker 213. There are injuries and roadblocks, so use caution there as well. Construction zones continue in Gadsden County on Highway 90, where it's reduced down to a single lane each direction at Little River and Hurricane Creek bridges between Quincy and Midway. Lafayette Street, Bradford Road still remain closed this morning as well, and construction continues on Callaway. You're going to see closures there between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. from Alabama to Indiana Street. We'll keep watching the roadways and get you your next traffic update around 5:30.
All right, Moose, we are talking hot on the web. Boy, is this a smart dog, a genius beagle, smelling chicken nuggets in the oven. So when his owner's away, he pushes the chair over. You see it there? The dog pushes that chair over there to the counter, climbs up, opens the oven, and starts eating the chicken. You'll see him here kind of pop it open. Look at that.
Unbelievable. You do what you got to do when you're hungry, but that dog took advantage of his opportunities.
Now, my question is how... The owner must have thought they were going crazy, like cooking chicken nuggets and saying, I swear I just cooked chicken nuggets. Where did they go? And somehow it must have led them to believe that the dog was doing this.
It had to have. Obviously, they set up the camera, so they knew something was going on. But I'm surprised the dog didn't burn his nose.
No kidding. That's the other concern there. Oh, my goodness. That is the top dog of the day. You've got to see the whole video. You can check it out. It's on the Hot on the Web section of our website, WTXL.TV. Boy, that's got to be the video of the week. We're going to turn now to your morning's financial news. Here's ABC's Mohammed Leela with America's Money.
Good morning, everyone. Even before today's release of the all-important December jobs report, there's some hope. Analysts say we've just finished the best year for hiring since 2005. They estimate more than 2 million new jobs were created. Days after AT&T offered a $450 credit to lure T-Mobile customers, T-Mobile is trying to one-up the competition. The company is doling out up to $650 in credit for anyone willing to switch from a rival. Call it a report card for the nation's largest retailers. In a recent survey, holiday shoppers say they were most satisfied with Amazon and LL Bean. They put Abercrombie & Fitch and Walmart near the bottom of the list. And the makers of 2 luxury cars are enjoying their highest sales ever. Rolls-Royce delivered more than 3,600 cars in 2013, its 4th consecutive record-breaking year, and Bentley topped 10,000 in sales. And that's America's Money. I'm Mohammed Leela.
I think the sun might be shining just a little more bright. I think the stars might be hanging just a little more high. Come on, love, a new day is calling and it feels so right.
With ingredients like roasted hazelnuts, skim milk, and cocoa, there's a whole lot of happy in every jar of Nutella. Spread the happy.
As a kid, I made a list of all the places I wanted to visit. I'm still not going to make it to Mars, but thanks to Hotwire's incredibly low travel prices, I can afford to cross more things off my list. This year alone, we went to the top of the Statue of Liberty and still saved enough to go to Texas, to a real dude ranch. Hotwire checks the competition's rates every day so they can guarantee their low prices. So we got our 4-star hotels for half price. Next up, Hollywood.
HOTWIRE, Hotwire.com.
Book with our app for an additional $25 off your next hotel.
Still ahead here this morning, state lawmakers nationwide tackling school bullying and digital bullying. But what about bullying in the workplace? A look at what's keeping government from punishing the business bullies. And Governor Chris Christie backpedaling on the Bridgegate issue.
Our community is amazing, but we can always make it better. Let's give the children the encouragement and education they deserve. I'm Brian Bower, and I care about our community. That's what makes Palmetto Security Services a dedicated company.
Join Capital City Youth Services in celebrating the Tally Awards, recognizing Tallahassee's favorite businesses, February 8th at the Tallahassee Automobile Museum. Walk the red carpet, experience the excitement of the awards ceremony, and enjoy a live performance by comedian Dean Napolitano. All proceeds benefit CCYS's new facility for homeless youth. It's the 2014 Tally Awards. Visit tallyawards.com for sponsorship opportunities and tickets.
Get your weekend started on a good note with Sunrise Rocks every Friday on WTXL Sunrise. Enjoy sounds of R&B, rock, blues, and more while getting ready for work. Catch live performances by local artists from the Big Bend area. Get your morning started right with Sunrise Rocks every Friday beginning at 5:30 only on WTXL ABC 27. Dedicated to you.
Our community is amazing, and we can always make it better. Meals on Wheels is an outstanding organization here in our community. Please help us support them. They do a great job in delivering many, many meals to elderly and senior citizens here in the community that would otherwise go hungry. Please refer to the information on the screen and help us when you can. There are many routes and many ways to help. I'm Steve Adams, and I care about our community. That's what makes the Front Porch a dedicated company.
Our community is amazing, but we can always make it better. Let's give the children the encouragement and education they deserve. I'm Brian Bower, and I care about our community. That's what makes Palmetto Security Services a dedicated company.
Well, this is interesting. More than 35% of employees say they feel they've been bullied at work. That's according to a study from CareerBuilder.com. But not a single law has passed in the United States that would punish bullies in the workplace. Change could be on the way. Fortune magazine says 25 states have proposed legislation against workplace bullying, but all those efforts have failed to become law. Why? Well, unless someone is targeted because of their sex, race, disability, or religion, being mean is not against the law. Bullying's really very subjective. Lawmakers are having a tough time defining the difference between a boss who's bullying and one who's just reprimanding. Now this morning, learning the details of a single car crash in Wakulla County. We'll talk about that coming up. Plus, the man accused of killing a Jacksonville child, Cherish Periwinkle, could be facing the death penalty.
We believe if you love your food, you should set it free. That's why our 20-plus fresh ingredients are free from everything except flavor. No hormones or additives, just all good. Moe's.
The story of Happily Ever After begins with a bride, a groom, and their special day together. And Brides on WTXL.TV is here to make your wedding truly memorable. With Brides, you can post your engagement and wedding announcements online to share with your family and friends, all for free. On Brides, you'll find a collection of businesses to help you with tuxedo rentals, catering, venues, and more for your special day. Get started today by clicking on the Brides section of WTXL.TV.
Hi, this is Jimbo Fisher from Naples Infiniti of Tallahassee. I just want to tell you, I absolutely love my new Infiniti. You should stop by today and take a test drive.
During our Winter Sign and Drive event, drive the all-new Infiniti Q50 sedan for only $349 a month. We have a huge selection, and during our Sign and Drive event, you can drive luxury for less out of your pocket at Napleton Infiniti. Plus, when you purchase any pre-owned vehicle, you receive a lifetime warranty.
I wish I had a lifetime warranty on all my players. Head to Naples Infiniti today and get your lifetime warranty.
If you've been involved in a car accident, I have some important advice about a new law in Florida. Now you must get medical care within 14 days of your accident, or you won't be eligible to have coverage under your own policy. Guess who was behind this law? We plan to challenge it in the courts for you, but until then, it's better to be safe than sorry. Don't wait. Get care today. For more information about the new law, visit forthepeople.com or call Morgan & Morgan. For the people.
Welcome to Moe's!
We believe if you love your food, you should set it free. That's why our 20-plus fresh ingredients are free from everything except flavor. No hormones or additives, just all good. Moe's.
Live from the WTXL studios, this is ABC 27 Sunrise.
And a good Friday morning to you. Just a few more hours until we officially kick off the weekend here. I'm Greg Angel. Certainly appreciate you joining us for WTXL ABC 27 Sunrise. Still ahead here this morning in our 6 a.m. hour, we're going to be talking with Andrea Carlisle. Talk about the fight against juvenile diabetes with an event coming up this weekend, Cycling for a Cure. But first this morning, weather, traffic, and news all together. And grab the umbrella as you head out the door. Lauren's in this morning for Michelle. But the good news is we got a couple rain sprinkles to talk about this morning, Lauren. But you're saying it's not going to be anything, blowing out any plans here.
That's right, Greg. They're not going to last, but your morning commute could be a tad tricky. We have a lot of showers moving through mostly Leon County right now in the central parts of the forecast area. Those showers are actually coming off the Gulf of Mexico, and they're going to continue to move northward as we head through the morning hours. By noon, though, we should clear them out. Temperatures outside right now sitting in the mid to high 50s across most of the area, even some 60s towards our eastern region, 62 degrees currently in Valdosta. Very mild morning overall. There is an overview. Few showers and muggy and mild conditions are going to continue throughout the morning. We'll warm up to about 60 degrees by the time we hit 9 a.m. and a 30% chance at seeing some showers for your morning commute. Just a quick look at your daycast for today by 7 o'clock. Again, we keep those showers in, but we clear them out by 5 o'clock this afternoon. Now tomorrow, we might see some showers and some thunderstorms developing, and we'll give you more on that coming up in just a little bit. We'll go ahead now, though, and throw it off to 103.1 The Wolf's Big Moose for a look at our traffic. Good morning, Big Moose.
Good morning, Lauren, and good morning, everyone. Kind of a sloppy drive on your Friday morning. TPD still working a crash East Magnolia and South Monroe Street. That area is actually closed off as they're working to clear this crash. You'll have to use Adams Street to go around that area if that is part of your commute this morning. Also, officials turning off the electricity in the area to clear the crash. So if you encounter any traffic lights that are not working this morning, please remember to treat those as a four-way stop. Florida Highway Patrol also working a crash this morning on I-10 eastbound, mile marker 213. You're going to see construction zones continuing in Gadsden County. Highway 90 reduced down to a single lane at Little River and East and Hurricane Creek bridges. That's between Quincy and Midway. And road closures continue on Lafayette Street, Bradford Road, and Callaway between 9 and 4 from Alabama to Indiana Street. We'll keep watching the roadways and get you your next update in about 15 minutes.
All right, Moose, thank you. New now this morning, a Florida man, local man, in critical condition after a car accident in Wakulla County. Now, Florida Highway Patrol troopers telling us around 6 last night, 20-year-old Jacob Ward was driving east on Wakulla Park Drive. Troopers say he hit several trees and car spun out of control. Ward is in critical condition at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. No one else was injured in that crash. Now this morning, prosecutors in Jacksonville pushing for the death penalty for the man accused of kidnapping a little girl from a Walmart store, then killing her. Leslie Corsi now with the story.
Cherish Periwinkle's short life came to a violent and terrifying end last summer. Prosecutors say the 8-year-old was kidnapped from a Northside Walmart, sexually abused and killed by the man you see here, 57-year-old Donald Smith, a registered sex offender. The crime could cost him his life.
State maintains the death penalty is the right way to go with this.
Absolutely.
Smith sat in the courtroom shackled today as his attorney fought to save his life. Public defender Fred Gonzalez argued the death penalty is unconstitutional, that lethal injection is cruel and unusual.
In every death penalty case, we'll handle those motions, so they're pretty routine.
Another motion prosecutors called routine was exactly how much evidence the jury will be allowed to see. The defense wants any gruesome or inflammatory photos of Cherish kept out of the jury's view. But prosecutor Mark Khalil argued the jury needs to see autopsy photos in order to understand exactly how badly Smith hurt this little girl.
It's our position that that evidence is required for us to prove our case.
Well, 3 police officers in a suburb outside of Atlanta pitching in to help a homeless man in the frigid temperatures this week. Living at a homeless shelter in downtown Atlanta, the man, who just wants to be identified as James, walked nearly 29 miles to get to traffic court. He no longer has a car after he totaled it in a car accident last fall. He's got no money to pay for a bus or a cab, so he walked to court instead of risking a warrant for his arrest.
What was your first thought when he walked in?
I just thought that he was out of breath because it was cold.
And why'd you do it?
I couldn't let him walk that far.
Thank God for those 3 officers.
Wow, nearly 29 miles in frigid temperatures. It took James 8.5 hours to walk through Atlanta to the court in Lilburn. Officers there say they, as you heard, they just thought he was out of breath because of the cold. But when they found out about his long walk, the officers chipped in, called a cab, and paid for the $80 ride back to the city. Well, I think everyone knows by now, Chris Christie recovering from a bit of a political jam over a traffic jam. The Bridgegate scandals left Governor Chris Christie sad, and as Jeannie Moos reports, the governor is bummed and the butt of some jokes.
Will Bridgegate take its toll on Governor Chris Christie? He sure wasn't getting an easy pass at his press conference, where the normally feisty governor was nothing but bummed.
I'm sad, but I am a very sad person today. It just makes me sad. It's a sad day for me.
Sad because he said he'd been betrayed by the trusted staff member he fired after incriminating emails surfaced.
It looks like there might be a tie-up,
Suggesting Christie allies closed toll lanes and created massive jams to retaliate against the Democratic mayor of Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Well, clearly somebody is getting thrown under the bus here. Fortunately for them, the bus isn't moving. It's stuck in terrible traffic.
Humorist Andy Borowitz filed this traffic update. All lanes on the George Washington Bridge blocked by Chris Christie's ego, though he's never been more humble than at Thursday's press conference.
I am humiliated.
The President of the United States of New Jersey, Chris Christie, is in hot water. Okay, hold on. I just pictured him in a hot tub. Shake it off.
The fat jokes were back, weighing how the scandal might affect a run for the White House and wearing a traffic cone. A few weeks earlier, he had joked about the then-developing scandal.
I worked the cones, actually, Matt. Unbeknownst to everybody, I was actually the guy out there. I was in overalls.
On Thursday, Governor Christie said he would never have joked like that if he had had any inkling that his people would do something so stupid. One person tweeted, "This is more a Chris Christie therapy session than a press conference." Governor Christie spoke about what he is and what he isn't. Here's what he is.
I am embarrassed. I am heartbroken. I am responsible. I am stunned. I'm sick over this.
And here's what he isn't.
I am not a focus group tested, blow-dried candidate. I am who I am, but I am not a bully.
While one of Christie's former appointees was on the hot seat, taking the fifth about the scandal,
on the advice of counsel, I assert my right to remain silent.
The right to silence was one thing Chris Christie wasn't asserting.
I'm sad.
Jeannie Moos.
The emotion I've been displaying in private is sad.
New York.
Well, Chris Christie, not the only public figure issuing apologies. Dennis Rodman retracting his rant and that CNN documentary Blackfish still making waves for SeaWorld, yet another musician canceling their show at the theme park. Plus, a Tampa man reaching for the stars, hoping to win an exclusive one-way trip to Mars.
It's time to get down, T-Town. Paint your bad self purple for a purpose. It's time for Purple Craze 2014, January 31st at the Tallahassee Automobile Museum. Come support the work of the Alzheimer's Project by strutting down the purple runway, learning the Purple Craze Shuffle with the photo fun booth, games, live and silent auctions. Tickets start at $35. Log on to alzheimersproject.org to learn how to get your purple on. Purple Craze 2014, Friday, January 31st at the Tallahassee Automobile Museum.
Congratulations on getting that new tablet. But when you have DSL, it's always buffering. Your devices are only as great as your internet. That's why every day more people switch to Mediacom, because with speeds up to 20 times faster than DSL.
Everyone can stream, download, and game at the same time.
Without constant buffering?
Exactly. That's always faster internet from Mediacom.
I'm Jacksonville kicker Josh Scobie asking you to join us for the Defeat Hunger Bowl. Now more than ever, local families need your help, and it's so easy to give them a helping hand.
That's right, Josh. Drop off non-perishable food at the boxes you see inside your area Walmart. Everything you give goes to America's second harvest of the Big Bend to help those in need. The Defeat Hunger Bowl, now through February 2nd at your area Walmart.
Defeat Hunger is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Together, let's defeat hunger.
It balances you. It fills you with energy. And it gives you what you're looking for to live a more natural life in a convenient 2-bar pack. This is Nature Valley. Delicious granola bars made with the best ingredients in nature. Nature Valley. Nature at its most delicious.
All right, we've got some more bizarre behavior here this morning from Dennis Rodman. He's now issuing an apology after exploding during a live interview on CNN's New Day morning show this week. But he's not running away from North Korea. His apology coming in the wake of a wild week playing exhibition basketball and then the controversial interview. In his apology, Rodman explains his outburst.
I had been drinking. It's not an excuse, but by the time the interview happened, I was upset. I was overwhelmed. It's not an excuse. It's just the truth.
Well, Rodman also apologizing to the family of Kenneth Bae, an American who was kidnapped and held captive in North Korea. In an interview, Rodman seemed to justify the kidnapping, shocking Bae's family. And the problem still flooding SeaWorld. Country star Trace Adkins, now the latest musician to cancel an upcoming show at the theme park. Other artists who have canceled include Trisha Yearwood, Willie Nelson, and the Bare Naked Ladies. The entertainers began backing out soon after CNN broadcast the documentary Blackfish in October. The documentary raises questions about the safety and humanity of keeping killer whales in captivity. SeaWorld spokesperson Nick Galachek told CNN last month, quote, "We're disappointed a small group of misinformed individuals was able to deny fans what would have been great concerts at SeaWorld," end quote. Now, SeaWorld said it would like the musical artists to learn for themselves about SeaWorld. Still ahead here on this Friday morning, a Florida man making the cut, getting through the first round of candidates vying for a one-way ticket to Mars.
And we're seeing some showers across the area this morning. They're moving northward from the Gulf of Mexico. It's also very warm, very muggy outside this morning. Those showers are going to continue through the morning. By the time we hit lunchtime, we'll be in the high 60s, warming up to near 70 by this afternoon. I'll have more on some weekend rain chances and some thunderstorm chances coming up in just a bit.
The story of Happily Ever After begins with a bride, a groom, and their special day together. And Brides on WTXL.TV is here to make your wedding truly memorable. With Brides, you can post your engagement and wedding announcements online to share with your family and friends, all for free. On Brides, you'll find a collection of businesses to help you with tuxedo rentals, catering, venues, and more for your special day. Get started today by clicking on the Brides section of WTXL.TV.
Longhorn knows when you watch what you eat, you still have to want what you eat. It's our flavorful under 500 menu. 8 meals, each incredibly under 500 calories, like our perfectly grilled Renegade sirloin, or our new spinach feta chicken, or maybe the juicy Napa chicken. Have them with a salad and a side, and it's still under 500 calories and just $11.99. For flavor that defies the calorie count, enjoy it tonight. The flavorful under 500 menu at Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak. And try our steakhouse lunch combo starting at $7.99, like our chicken avocado sandwich.
Yo, Buzz, drop that beat. Remix. Hey, let's be honest. You got that medley crunch. Go, go, Buzz, go, go, go. Let's be honest. Clusters, flakes, that medley crunch, crunch. Clusters, flakes, that medley crunch, crunch. Go. Hey, let's be honest. That medley crunch. Hey, let's be honest.
Our community is amazing, but we can always make it better.
Did you know that 1 out of 10 people will have a seizure in their lifetime, and that 1 in 26 Americans will develop epilepsy in their lifetime, and that epilepsy affects more people than MS, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, and Parkinson's combined? Yet epilepsy receives fewer dollars than each of these. So please give to the Epilepsy Association of the Big Bend.
I'm Chris Kraft, and I care about our community, and that's why Kraft Nissan is a dedicated company.
Titan Doppler Radar is sponsored by Kraft Nissan.
All right, now this morning, a Florida man hoping he's going to be spacebound soon, making a one-way trip to Mars. He's one of thousands of people who have applied to Mars One. It's a group seeking to land humans on Mars in 2025, and now he's one step closer to booking a ticket for the Red Planet. Melanie Michaels got the story of the next possible rocket man.
He found out in an email.
Dear Mr. Black, you and only 1,057 other aspiring astronauts around the globe have been pre-selected.
A dream come true for Hampton Black, moving to Mars forever.
Congratulations, you have made it to the next round.
As part of his application to the Mars One project, Hampton sent in this video, and you may recognize the movie. He made the cut out of 200,000 people.
I've designed and built hundreds of water filtration systems, pumping systems, RO, you name it.
I was overwhelmed with joy. It was awesome. I had some family and friends here when I opened up the email, and a bunch of high fives, and it was exciting.
The 43-year-old former NASA employee has a background in aerospace engineering and space studies. He wants to be on the team of 40 people who will travel to the Red Planet and colonize it. He says he's willing to leave behind his family, his friends, even his children to be a part of history.
What would you tell people if they say, "You're crazy"? Why would you want to do that?
It's for the benefit, I think, of all mankind. I mean, to be a multi-planetary species.
Good luck to him, though. I'm kind of curious what his wife would say. By the way, no word yet if Lindsay Lohan or the Kardashians have applied for it. We could only hope. Talking weather this morning, we got a little bit of rain to talk about, but just a little bit.
Just a tiny. We can actually see the showers are getting a lot more widespread as they're coming off the Gulf of Mexico this morning. They're very light across most of the area. Again, they're going to continue throughout the morning hours and for your morning commute, but by the time we hit the noon hours today, they're going to taper off nicely. We can see quite a few right now just entering the Florida-Georgia line, moving through northern Leon County. Again, we do expect these to become much lighter and taper off as we head into our afternoon hours. Temperatures outside right now currently in the mid to high 50s across most of the area. 57 degrees in Tallahassee right now, 55 in Thomasville. And as we head to our eastern counties, they're all sitting in the low 60s. Very muggy, very mild morning across most of the area, and that's all due to some southerly flow coming off the Gulf of Mexico. That's fueling our shower chances this morning. Again, we still have a system. It's sitting most of it just off the coast of the Carolinas right now that's going to continue to move out of our area, but behind it we have another system moving in. So after some clearing happens this afternoon, that's when we see this cold front get much much closer to our area, and it's going to start to trigger some rain showers overnight tonight. And then tomorrow, more southerly flow means warm and muggy conditions, and that's actually going to fuel the possibility for some thunderstorms tomorrow. Some of those storms could have a couple gusty ones, especially near more of our coastal areas. Your forecast in focus is showing us when and where we expect those showers to pop up. And this morning, you can see they remain light and widely scattered across the area and then taper off by our noon hours, and our evening hours tonight should be dry, just featuring lots of pretty thick cloud cover. By tomorrow, early tomorrow morning, that's when we start to see more rainfall come in. Then the heavier rain and even the thunderstorms begin to arrive as we head into the morning hours tomorrow morning, and then during the afternoon is when we expect to see most of those thunderstorms. Here's a look at your beach and boating forecast. Some showers this morning, winds out of the east-southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Your seas there at 2 to 3 feet, and bays and inland areas featuring a light to moderate chop. Rip current risk is moderate out at the beaches though, but it's very comfortable. 75 degrees for the high as opposed to that chilly water temperature of 55 degrees. Now for your Big Bend forecast today, we're looking at 73 for the high in Tallahassee, and then as we head into our South Alabama counties, they're looking at the high 60s for the high. Tonight we're going to see those showers increase once again. In the Sewanee Valley counties, we're seeing mostly 70s, even up to 77 degrees for the high today in Live Oak. Very warm, very mild, and very muggy across most of our North Florida counties. South Central Georgia seeing one area of 60s, Tifton the high of 67. The rest of the area going in on the 70s though this afternoon, 75 for our high in Valdosta. Now in Southwest Georgia, that's where we're seeing even more 60s. Colquitt for the high today, 67 degrees, as well as in Bainbridge, 68 for the high in Moultrie. And as we head into the night hours tonight, those clouds are going to be on the increase. There's a look at your next 7 days. Warm conditions, 73 degrees for the high today, and then tomorrow, 74 again for the high, and an 80% chance at some showers and thunderstorms. Again, some of those storms could have gusty ones tomorrow. We'll talk more about that later, but right now we're going to throw it off to 1031 The Wolf's Big Moose for a look at our traffic. Hey, Big Moose.
Again, Lauren, and good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Looking at TPD working a crash right now with road closures. East Magnolia Drive and South Monroe Street. You'll have to use Adams Street to get around that area. Officials also turning off the power in that area, so if you encounter a traffic light that isn't working, please remember to treat that as a four-way stop. Also, Florida Highway Patrol putting the finishing touches on a crash. I-10 eastbound, mile marker 213. The roadway is open and should be pretty much cleared through there, but just use caution. Construction zones continue. You'll see road closures on Callaway between Alabama and Indiana Street daily between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Also Lafayette Street between Goodbody and Seminole Drive. Bradford Road between Monroe and MLK. Both those areas closed down this morning. Detours in place. And in Gadsden County, Highway 90 still reduced down to a single lane each direction. That's going on at the Little River and Hurricane Creek bridges between Quincy and Midway. We'll keep watching the roadways and get you your next update right around 6 o'clock.
Hi, Big Moose. Thank you very much. On this day in history, 1901, an oil derrick blowing its top, beginning the era of the U.S. oil industry. Spindletop was the largest gusher the world had ever seen. Black crude oil shooting 100 feet into the air, taking only 9 days to get the flow under control. Oil production tripling overnight, and the American oil industry was born. Entertainment news this morning, George Clooney offering a date to one lucky fan, and Lindsay Lohan's new reality TV show set to debut. Dave Stewart now with this morning's Hollywood headlines.
George Clooney is giving one fan the opportunity of a lifetime. Anyone who donates $10 to the Satellite Sentinel Project, a group that helps deter war crimes, will be entered to win a chance to spend the entire day with the Hollywood A-lister. That includes serving as his date at the premiere of his new movie, The Monuments Men. Clooney is a backer of the Satellite Sentinel Project and has supported their efforts in Sudan and other parts of Africa. Kelly Osbourne was recently schooled by Justin Bieber in the art of graffiti. The Fashion Police co-host took to Instagram to brag about her new skills. She posted a pic showing the two in front of a painted wall. The caption read, "Just had so much fun getting lessons from Justin Bieber on how to spray paint." Osbourne says she is now a true believer. And Lindsay Lohan has a start date. The troubled actress's reality TV show will premiere on Oprah Winfrey's own network on March 9th. According to the network, cameras follow Lohan as she attempts to rebuild her life after a stint in rehab. In an interview with Oprah back in August, Lohan says she wants to get her life back on track. For Hollywood Minute, I'm Dave Stewart.
All right, now this morning, if you've ever dreamed of opening a small business but you don't have the money to start, listen up. A new trend on the internet changing the game for entrepreneurs. And in Las Vegas this week, the digital phenomenon crowdfunding, bringing some small startups up to the big leagues. Karen Kafa now to explain how.
Away from the massive Las Vegas Convention Center is where you find Eureka Park. It's a place where the small startups with big tech ideas can showcase what they've got, and many of them say they're here thanks to crowdfunding.
The internet is democratizing everything, and access to capital is happening.
Crowdfunding has changed the game for startups. They can take their gadgets to the internet masses, who then pledge support with their dollars. In the spotlight in the Indiegogo zone at International CES, 10 emerging companies making use of the crowdfunding platform. Mid-campaign at CES and exceeding their goal, the Panono panoramic camera, studded with 36 small cameras.
You throw it up in the air. At the highest point, all cameras fire at once, and then we stitch all the images together into one spherical panorama.
Another Indiegogo campaigner, Petzilla, is a pet monitoring system that owners control via smartphone, even delivering treats.
The pet owner, the dog owner, their two favorite things are their smartphone and their dog. Why not combine the two?
It was initially aimed at dog owners before cat owners responded, saying they wanted in too. Indiegogo CEO Slava Rubin says that shows there's even more to be gleaned from the crowd.
The feedback and the validation and the customer engagement was super valuable beyond just the money.
One example of Indiegogo's success at the show, an item creating lots of buzz. The Yellow Jacket, an iPhone case that doubles as a stun gun, graduated to the ranks of companies in the convention center this year, something that back in Eureka Park, others hope to duplicate. In Las Vegas, I'm Karen Kafa.
Pretty cool stuff there. Well, still ahead in our 6 a.m. hour of Sunrise, Florida A&M University trustees have picked a new president, but it's not exactly a done deal just yet. We'll explain what else has to also be done. Plus, if you're still sticking to your diet in the new year, how journaling can actually help you lose weight.
I'm Jacksonville kicker Josh Scobie asking you to join us for the Defeat Hunger Bowl. Now more than ever, local families need your help, and it's so easy to give them a helping hand.
That's right, Josh. Drop off non-perishable food at the boxes you see inside your area Walmart. Everything you give goes to America's second harvest of the Big Bend to help those in need. The Defeat Hunger Bowl, now through February 2nd at your area Walmart.
Defeat Hunger is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Together, let's defeat hunger.
Our community is amazing, but we can always make it better. As a father of 3 boys and a cancer survivor, I am passionate about raising awareness for Kids First Fund. Did you know 91 cents of every dollar donated goes directly to research? FA has a direct link to breast, ovarian, and cervical cancer, as well as leukemia and lymphoma. By swabbing at a marrow registry at no cost or donating generously to help Ethan Fisher's Kids First Fund, you could help save a life and a family. I'm Rudy Rowe, and I care about our community, and that's what makes Rowe Roofing a dedicated company.
Wherever morning brings you, bring the energy you need. Nature Valley soft-baked oatmeal squares. Softly baked, made with hearty oatmeal and a drizzle of cinnamon. They're Nature Valley's take on a morning classic. Because when you keep going, the morning can bring you to brand new places. Nature Valley, nature at its most delicious.
Hi, this is Jimbo Fisher from Naples Infiniti of Tallahassee. I just want to tell you, I absolutely love my new Infiniti. You should stop by today and take a test drive.
During our winter sign and drive event, drive the all-new Infiniti Q50 sedan for only $349 a month. We have a huge selection, and during our sign and drive event, you can drive luxury for less out of your pocket at Napleton Infiniti. Plus, when you purchase any pre-owned vehicle, you receive a lifetime warranty.
I wish I had a lifetime warranty on all my players. Head to Naples Infiniti today and get your lifetime warranty.
All right, it's 5:57. I'll tell you what, I'm getting hungry, and if you've got a big appetite, you can feed that appetite. Coming up tonight, Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation hosting their food truck fair today, beginning at 4:30 p.m. Secretary Ken Lawson's going to be joining us in our 6:30 half hour to talk more about tonight's event and how it's helping local businesses as well. We'll talk about that at 6:30 live in studio, plus all the details up on our website, WTXL.TV. We also got a little bit of rain to talk about this morning. We'll get to that, plus Big Moose standing by with a check of this morning's roadways. It's all coming up in 2 minutes as we continue on this Friday morning right here on WTXL ABC 27 Sunrise, a foggy Friday morning.
Join
Capital City Youth Services in celebrating the Tally Awards, recognizing Tallahassee's favorite businesses, February 8th at the Tallahassee Automobile Museum. Walk the red carpet, experience the excitement of the awards ceremony, and enjoy a live performance by comedian Dean Napolitano. All proceeds benefit CCYS's new facility for homeless youth. It's the 2014 Tally Awards. Visit tallyawards.com for sponsorship opportunities and tickets.
'Tis the season for savings on men's suits at M&R Clothing. Get huge holiday discounts on all your favorite name brands like Stephen Land, Sean John, Steve Harvey, Stacey Adams, and more. Look your best with the right fashion combination for every occasion. M&R has hundreds of suits to choose from with prices starting at $99. Buy one, get one half price. Shop now for the best selection. M&R Clothing, North Florida and South Georgia's premier suit and wardrobe destination on Capitol Circle across from Sam's.
Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit hungry and there's nothing good for me around. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of craving something that I can't have. Forever I've been praying for a snack in my life, and now I have a brownie, and in all of my strife I finally found the right snack.
I'm Jacksonville kicker Josh Scobie asking you to join us for the Defeat Hunger Bowl. Now more than ever, local families need your help, and it's so easy to give them a helping hand.
That's right, Josh. Drop off non-perishable food at the boxes you see inside your area Walmart. Everything you give goes to America's second harvest of the Big Bend to help those in need. The Defeat Hunger Bowl, now through February 2nd at your area Walmart.
Comcast